We major. Direction CYOP. Choose your own path.
Direction, choose your own path.
Don't just wear anything. Wear garments that mean something.
Pay attention, stay alert, and remember, choose your own path.
That make me lit, y'all. We got commercials. It's lit.
Word. All right. Shout out to Bub, man. I'm gonna put the link in the description. I'm gonna put it in the chat as well. DirectionCYOP.com. Shit is fly. It's well priced and it's worth it. The quality is awesome. You know, people grinding. All right, I want to ask this question. I'm gonna drop the link to see who want to join the panel. Questions, comments, or smoke. Dana, what'd you say? But because I want to dive into this because I know that you guys are tired, but I want to attack some of the stuff that we can do differently from our side. And obviously, I'm talking about us here. Even though I'm not a girl, but about. Do I need to pause just in case? What maybe how we can break down some of these stigmas, some of these barriers that men are finding with women, especially in our community. So this one is big. How can we solve the lack of accountability stigma on women? And Adrian, we probably got to do a part 2 of this because I got way more in that video too, but we probably won't get there. How can we solve the lack of accountability stigma on women? Now, you guys know we think that you guys think accountability is a 4-letter word. We hate the way you guys think you take accountability. We think that by the time you guys are apologizing, you only apologizing to make yourself feel better. We don't even think it's for us. Because it takes 2 goddamn weeks for y'all to say I'm sorry. And we think that you guys rather say, I won't do it again. I apologize. I was wrong. But we don't often hear I'm sorry. Those 2 words. So how can we break down this lack of accountability stigma?
Did y'all ever hear I'm sorry from your mom?
Us as a whole?
Black men as children. When your mom did something, did y'all ever hear I'm sorry?
I've heard that a lot of black men were coddled, which is why our behavior was so poor. And we see that with some of the, some of our results in terms of how well we do in school, prison, pipeline, the whole 9 yards. So if we were coddled, then I'm saying yes. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know if coddling comes with I'm sorry.
Or let me ask this. Have your mother ever or your parents ever taken accountability for something they did wrong?
Yeah.
Because
I don't think. Well, I think our parents in our age, I don't know. Maybe not. Right?
The older generation
like you didn't even know. You didn't even know why you got in trouble, or you didn't know what the reason was behind it. Stop crying right after you get a spanking that never made a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. As soon as you get hit, you gotta stop crying. If you got, with the since what we used to get the cable cord, that motherfucker hurt, man. Good God. That cable cord, no joke. You be patting each other down, you got webs and shit. So you gotta stop crying immediately. But Ro, what was the
My
point for that
point
one?
was we weren't raised to take accountability. Generation X, millenniums, we weren't raised to take accountability. We were self-governed, self-raised. Then you can look at that if you want to. We were self-governed, self-raised. We had to go in and do what our parents told us to do, regardless of asking any questions. If they did something, they did not apologize. They did not hold themselves accountable. And so when we're in these relationships, we are not fully holding ourselves accountable. And we are not holding them accountable. We learn accountability as a life lesson. It's a response. It's not something that we just knew to do.
I have to disagree. I think it's our parents and our grandparents, that the older generation, that is not accountable. I think our generation, like us here on the panel, I think we are in that age group where we're trying to break those generational cycles, and we're the ones that want to be accountable.
Well, that's what I said.
Self-reflection.
That's why I said it's a life lesson. It's a life lesson, learned lesson. It's not something that was bred and put in us as children to do that. We didn't get that way until we started experiencing these relationships with friends, with relationships, intimate relationships, to understand how we're treating people. And that's how we learned how to get to be accountable. It's not something we're born into. And so my point is, it's something we're constantly learning and trying to perfect.
Okay, I guess it's the way you phrased it at first, but okay.
That was my point.
Okay.
So to answer your question, Ham, I think we do. Depends on your experiences for you to understand accountability when you're in relationships with people. And I think it is a constant lesson that we're learning to try to be better. It's not something that is automatic.
You know, Ro, I can kind of understand where you're coming from with this one a little bit. And as you were talking, and I'm honestly racking my brain about this because I don't understand the stigma at all. And I understand that it exists and men genuinely feel this way, but I for the life of me, I don't know why. But to your point, I think it goes along those lines. I mean, when our parents would say things like, because I said so, do this because I said so, or it is what it is, don't question me, yada, yada, yada. I guess I can see how that can kind of come into play in our romantic relationships as well. It's like, don't question what I'm saying. I'm not wrong. Just shut up and deal with it, or it is what it is kind of thing. So
right. When we had that discussion about the man saying that he could tell me how to be a wife, I should just do what he say.
Right.
That comes from, again, this thought process of my parents told me just do what I say. I saw my father just telling my mother just do what I say to do. And that is not that's not productive.
Whether it's right or wrong.
Exactly.
I can understand that.
And women do it, we do it when we're in relationships because we want something a certain way. And so instead of engaging in a full learning communication, learning how that person takes in communication, we're just like, we like it this way. We don't tell them why. We just say we like it this way. We don't want to do nothing else. We like it this way. And he's like, well, I'm not used to that. I don't know how to do that. Or if he doesn't say it, he responds in a defensive manner. So that was my whole point of that. I just think that we are not taught accountability. It is something we're learning through the process that we're still doing. Now, our kids are a little different, right? Because they're going to get it. Because we talk to them, we communicate with them, we tell them why they got to do certain things, we engage them in conversations, but we also hold them accountable. They're going to be different than us. And I say that only because my daughter, they as a friend group, they hold each other accountable. I didn't learn that until I became an adult, with adult friends. I think that is very important. Accountability is something that we as generations, we just didn't learn. And it's just a learning process.
So it just Hank the basement $2 super chat. Hank, what's good, man? We'll see you tomorrow. Good evening, Hamp and the ladies. Word. Shout out to my brother Hank. Please follow his channel, like, share, subscribe. If any of the moderators are in here, get Hank's link and drop it in the chat, please. Now, Ro, I hear you. But don't it just further the point? Like, we ain't accountable for our lack of accountability. Just like, good grief. Not only we're accountable, it's our parents' fault. I just feel like that it just furthers the point.